Welcome back to Symphony of Suffering. So, what I want to talk about is why you have to have abundance with women, why you have to have options, why you have to have the skill of meeting, approaching, dating, and more with women, and how when you don't, and if you don't, your dating life will severely and catastrophically suffer, and your relationship with any woman at all will catastrophically suffer. And it's a little bit of a difficult thing to understand. It's a little bit of a difficult principle to comprehend. Sorry, I'm trying to wait till the cars go by to finish my sentence. But see, what really attracts a woman, this is where men have been lied to. What really attracts a woman is being a man who has options, being a man who has other women who are into him. What this does is it signals to her sexual evolution, biology, development that you are a man who is worthy of pursuing and worthy of being with. Because it shows that basically you must provide some sort of resource, some sort of value, some sort of benefit. Back then it would be in order for survival. Now our biology hasn't really changed much. Our evolution hasn't changed that much. Deep down inside, it is programmed for that. So she will think that he provides some sort of benefit, some sort of protection, some sort of value, whatever it is. So that's why other girls are into him. That's why he is a worthy option. That is what pre-selection is. And so one of the things that's imperative to a woman being attracted to you is her seeing that other women want you, and that, more importantly, that if she messes it up, you could go and get with another woman like that. You could go and get with another woman in a heartbeat. And what this will do is it'll make her behave better. It'll make her want you more. It'll make her wetter, so to speak. It will improve pretty much any dynamic you have with her, because she knows that you're more of a scarce resource. She knows that she could lose you. She knows that if she acts bad or unfavorable or less optimal than what you want or what you deserve for the value that you offer, she knows that deep down inside, again, she could lose you. You could run off with a girl who's hotter than her and better than her and replace her very quickly. That's a big thing. You could replace her very fast. And you are a more difficult option, or you are more difficult to replace than she would be based on the value that you give. Top 1% men are so rare. So rare. Again, they're 1%. Now, for a girl to be high value or 1%, I mean, most girls are so unimpressive nowadays, to say the least, or most men. But to be a man, you have to have a lot of impressive qualities. You have to have a lot of impressive things about you. And it's hard to become, to be a man, it requires more than it is to be a woman, at least what society considers. What we consider, what kind of the world considers to be a man, it's already at a higher level than what it takes to be a quote unquote woman. So, to be a high level dude, to be the man, top 10% even, you have to have a lot going for you. You have to have a lot of skills. You have to have a lot of proficiency. You have to have a lot of dexterity and things. You have to have a lot of capability and competency in many areas. To be a top 1% dude, you got to have everything handled. You got to be jacked. You got to be at a certain level financially, certain level of competency, certain level of, I would say like psychological ability, a certain level of intellectual ability and understanding. You have to have a certain level of emotional intelligence. You have to be a strong leader. You have to be on top of everything. And when you are even like a top 10% dude, women feel that. They feel that very deeply, because you're leading so hard and you're so dominant in your own life. It will transfer to your relationship with her. And when you're just naturally a strong leader, and who you are and what you are day-to-day life, it transfers to her. She feels that. And more importantly, when you have other girls that are interested in you and you have that level of social proof, it's a little bit of a separate skill set other than like being super disciplined in your own life. There are guys who are very disciplined who don't really get laid that much, but there are guys who get laid that can't really keep girls and have other problems in their life. So you need both, to be honest with you. And women can sense when a dude is on his, path and purpose, so to speak. I believe that's from David Date or something like that, from his book, the one he wrote that is pretty famous, The Way of the Superior Man, I believe. They can sense that. And part of that is you, honestly, a big part of it is you caring about yourself more than anything. Because in order for you to become any sort of high-level dude, you have to care about yourself a lot. You have to prioritize yourself. Especially you want to be a 1% dude, you got to be selfish as hell. And guess what? Women are attracted to that selfishness. They are attracted to you focusing on you and you having options in every way, shape, and form in your life, and you prioritizing yourself. It makes them constantly want to fight and chase to have your attention when she senses you have better, more important things than her. And that is against everything we have been taught in this world. That is against everything we have been taught as men. But we must learn this. We must learn this. We must practice it. We must go out there. We must do it. So, going to be producing a lot of videos on this content, a lot of other things. But how do we do this? I want to end this with a little bit of an action step. How do we do this? So I will be getting into more direct action steps in other videos, and probably the group that I'm building as well. Be a paid group. But I mean, you got to be going to the gym at least a couple days a week. You got to have your food handled to a certain extent. The food you're putting in your body. You got to have your sleep handled. You got to have, your macros, your micros handled. You got to be getting probably your blood work done, maybe once every couple months, whatever it is. You need to be doing some sort of, cardiovascular training. When it comes to dating, you got to be approaching probably at least, I would say, 20 new girls a week. You need to be getting your reps up. You need to be getting new girls' numbers, getting flaked, learning how to interact, learning how to connect with women, learning all the different things there are to learn. There's so many levels to it too. Building new social circles. You need, money-wise, I'd say you need to be working on some sort of business venture, at least probably 10, 12 hours a week outside of your job so you can become financially independent. I would say on top of that, maybe I would say learning how to fight too. I think that's actually very imperative. I think you need to be doing some sort of fight training 3 days a week at least. So I would say those are some of the things that are the bare essentials for being a top 1% dude. Screw top 10%. We're going for top 1. So I know those aren't the most in-depth action steps, but those are things you guys can start right now. And yeah, those are some things you can start absolutely right now, tomorrow, this week. And each one of those things you're going to be needing to do for months and months, potentially years and years, before you really reach a point where you have results that are speaking for themselves and showing up in your day-to-day life and are visible to others. So start with those things. Use them as a guiding force. Use them as a map, if you will, an outline. Keep watching the channel. We're going to be going deep on a lot of this stuff. Be sharing with you what I'm doing, different ways I'm leveling up, things I've had to overcome, everything about meeting, attracting, interacting with women, becoming the highest level dude you can as quickly as possible, and then what it takes to even be a 0.1% man. So I have a lot of interesting thoughts about this, a lot of interesting things I'm doing and applying. I'd love to share them all with you. I'm glad that you're a part of my journey, and I'm very happy that you're allowing me to be a part of yours. So, my name's Angelo. This is Symphony of Suffering. Till next time.